Okay, so I am back after a very, very long break, and I plan on continuing to do this more often. Ray Sheehan, I got it right this time, right?
That's
Right?
right. That's
Yes.
right.
Okay. I always pronounce his last name wrong. So what's up, kid?
Nothing much, man. Just playing, working,
You're
playing shows.
yeah. I saw you're always at the Pony.
Yeah.
You're at the Pony a lot.
Yeah, we play there. We played there in July, and then we played there in November. We'll probably play there in February.
Okay.
Trying to build out the show schedule now. We're playing up in North Jersey a little bit as well, and having a lot of fun with that. It's good.
Okay.
Opening up for more people now. Like we opened up for a band called the Street Survivors. You might like it. If they're a Leonard Skinner tribute band
Okay.
from Pennsylvania, and they came to Jersey and they did a show at the Pony. So we opened up for them, and that was fun. And I don't know if you know the band Overkill.
No. It's original? It's not like
Yeah,
covers?
it's original. They
Okay.
we opened up for the guy, the bass player has like this swing rock band.
Okay.
It's like a 50s thing, but we opened up for him at the House of Independence, and that was fun. So we're opening up for more people, and we have like a rock night thing at Dingbats in Clifton coming up.
Okay. I've
And
never
then
been there.
It's
I've never-
fun. You
never
would
played
like
there.
it. You would like it.
Okay.
They have a cool vibe there. It's not a huge room, but it
Yeah.
is. It's a nice environment, and you would dig it if you like heavier stuff too. It's more of a heavier kind of band room,
Yeah.
but we'll play there. But obviously with a bill that's more curated towards my kind of stuff. But it is a nice spot, and they've been there for a while. It's really cool. It's like ran out of like a house.
I think they've been there a long time because they're very famous. Because I see like even bands that I follow on Instagram and stuff that are like way out in the middle of the country and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll play at Dingbats too. So, but I never been there, never played there. So, but Clifton, so it's north.
Yeah,
Right.
it's about hour and a half north from me without traffic, so it's probably like 2 hours
Okay.
total.
You're still in New Egypt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, New Egypt.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Why you say it like that? Because
I like Asbury more, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So eventually, I want to find something closer to Asbury too,
That's cool. Yeah.
and because I'm only 20 minutes away, but
Right.
it'd be better to be right there,
Of course. Yeah.
and just be able to go down the street and find all these places, or even if it's just a couple minute drive.
Right.
So, but and we're very fortunate to have that,
Right. Yeah, I agree.
because
I
not
agree.
like imagine being a musician and not having a big music town like just a drive away,
Right. Yeah, that's
It's
very lucky. I mean, even
yeah,
New Egypt's not terribly far
yeah,
from it. It's only like 40 minutes, and it doesn't even. The drive feels like 20 minutes at this point because I've just done it so much. It
yeah,
feels shorter than it was. And I agree. We are very lucky to be right there because, like, some people, they live like middle of Ohio.
yeah,
Where you going?
yeah,
But we're right here, and we're right by a bunch of famous venues. There's a good local scene, and you
yeah.
can very welcoming too, which is good.
And I also want to check out because I'm a big Joe Rogan fan, and I'm like always watching that podcast. Um, but Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
I want to go out there to check it out because it's like it's booming with music, with comedy, with all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like another Nashville or another LA
Yeah.
or. But that's like on my list of places to go.
Yeah, that's a
Hopefully
good
soon.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you released a whole album a little while
Yes.
ago, right?
Yeah. A little bit after we did our podcast, which was like a year ago at this time, so it was
Okay.
in January. It came out January 21st. It was called The Turning Point. Both of the front and back cover were shot in Asbury. The front cover
Okay.
was shot. It's hard to see, but the front cover was shot in front of the lanes.
Oh, you shot it
And
in front of the lanes?
yeah,
Okay.
it was like it's funny. I had my phone set up to record me playing guitar. They had an open mic there. It was like the first time he did it there, and it was like a cool shot, and I don't even think the sign is in it, so really, no one would know unless I say it because it looks like it could be anywhere.
Right.
But the back cover of it was shot in that there's like a little walkway that goes outside it of the lanes right before there's that parking lot. And then I propped up my phone on a railing, and then I got a cool shot there, and you could see the convention hall in the background, so
Have
people
you
would know where that is. That is
have you
lovely.
played the lanes since like the open mic was there?
I played it there that first time the open mic was there, and I haven't done it aside from when Jason ran the open mic there. Eventually, we'll cross in there. We'll open up for someone there. I'm sure it's just
Yeah.
I have to like find a band that's doing a show there and
Yeah.
get a relationship with them, but
You still
eventually.
using that booking agent? You told me about a booking agent like a while
I
back.
use a few people
Okay.
now. I don't have like a set booking agent, but I know like a few promoters that will work together,
Yeah.
and we have a good lineups curated, and it's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. We get
I got a couple contacts from Alex Sanders,
that's cool. Yeah.
and working that job, I just haven't had the
Yeah.
time to, I'm like this whole situation that I've been in for the last 3 years has hindered my. I'm not out there playing shows and everything, and I gotta work, and I had
Right.
to pay for this place and everything, so it's like, but I'm on a turning point of like heading in that direction, and um, I don't know. I've been kind of on like a spiritual awakening kind of thing, and it's led me to a point where I'm kind of like, whatever it takes, everything that's getting in the way, fuck all this shit. Like if I gotta move, if I gotta, you know, just too many things in the way, and
Right.
in your spirit, like the thing about musicians, and this is something that even like people that I'm not very close to say the least, in the scene and stuff, like this is an overall respect for everybody. Like everyone that is really dedicated to this whole thing is like we you would rather struggle and do what you love than to be enslaved by a society that might offer you success but not happiness.
Yeah, I
You know what
agree.
I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
100%.
it's the Matrix. It's like literally, Neo in the Matrix, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
he's sitting behind a desk, and that's not real life. And maybe you have a nice paycheck, but
Yeah,
what's the point?
it's like Fight Club. You've ever seen
I
Fight Club, where he's
Yeah,
in a way, it's yeah, it's better to do what you love. I mean, life is too short
yeah,
to not do what you love. I mean, I know people that maybe at one time they did what they loved, but then they stopped somewhere along the way, and then they get bitter and angry, and then their negative energy just it's like, all right, I can't deal with this anymore because I'm just trying
yeah,
to, they become an obstacle, and not that they mean to become an obstacle, but it's just the way it happens sometimes. But I agree,
yeah.
you gotta stuff hindering you sometimes if you can say I can't
Right.
have this in the way anymore.
A lot of old dudes that didn't have their dream come true, they
Right.
gave up on it, and then when it comes to you pursuing yours, and then they're like, you know, well, that's not realistic,
Yeah, yeah,
why don't you go find some,
yeah.
and that's never been my thing. I just I can't it's like a withdrawal. It's like, if I'm not doing this, I'm not okay.
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
I feel
play
that.
music. So, you know, I'm seriously considering going out closer to there
Yeah, that's cool, man.
and making all the sacrifices I can to, like, even if I gotta downsize, like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. I'd rather be there,
Yeah,
you know, make it work somehow.
yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
But and I got a lot of shit I can get rid of. I got, like I got another couch in the other
Oh
room. I
yeah,
don't
do
need
you?
two,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, yeah. But so what did you see his diss track video? I'm just curious.
I think so.
Okay. You should go watch that. It's
Is it the one
hilarious.
where you have the wig on?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it. What you posted on Instagram is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I posted 2 clips of it. So if you didn't see the the full thing, because the full thing is
Is it
hilarious.
on YouTube?
And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll check it out.
And I
I'll check
was
it out.
actually debating on, like, I was gonna put the wig on for the podcast just to be an asshole, but you know, I got a lot of heat for that.
You did?
Not from them. Not from the people that it was obviously
Uh huh.
about. Because it was about some people in the scene. But I have you probably saw that reel I made with about religious people. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. Where
And
you people judge you, people are
yeah,
judgy.
because I have a long history. Like, I went to church for many years,
Right.
every Sunday, um, and you know I stopped going in 2017,
Hmm.
and not just differences in with the people. I've always been a believer, um, but I'm not exactly. I believe in, like, freedom and liberty
Hmm.
that comes along with that, and um, so when I did that video, and I kind of let loose a while back, because you remember when, like, Instagram bought Facebook,
Yeah,
or
I think
whatever.
Facebook bought in something like that. I
Yeah, and then
don't know.
you
Yeah.
could, or whatever, and then you could link the reels.
Right.
So
Right.
now I always focused more on my Instagram
Hmm.
when it came to music and stuff,
Sure.
because that's my fan base. Like, they all came there because of my music for the most part.
Right.
Facebook is all these people I knew from church,
Oh,
people I grew up with, like, all this
right.
stuff. But at a certain point, I said, like, why not expand it? I'll just let all my stuff go over there too.
Mhm.
And then I've never been one to, like, hide who I am. So I was like, you know what? When it comes to my mouth, like, I'm cursing and stuff, and, like, you know, and I'm just like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me.
Right.
Like, I don't care if they get upset. I don't care if they unfriend me. Like, I'd rather just put it all out there. This is who I am. So I let all this stuff go out there, but I'm after that one, and then a couple other ones that I said, and something really set me over the edge the other day was this guy. I made a funny video about AI music, and it had to do with something that Alex posted, Alex Sanders,
Hmm.
and I make this funny video, and I had, like, the Terminator in it and stuff.
Hmm.
And I was throwing some cuss words out there, and then all these comments on my Facebook of, like, um, my old drum teachers on there commenting nice stuff, and, like, friends, and people are laughing and
Yeah.
everything. And then this one guy that I met once 11 years ago at a church conference
Hmm.
comments on it, and he's like, you're gonna be better than AI when you start following the Lord Jesus Christ. It's just like, and it set me over the edge because
Right.
it's like you don't even know me. You don't
Right.
know if I
Yeah.
pray. You don't know if I go to church anymore. You don't know like why? Because I said the F word in the video. Like
Mhm.
this is what bothers you, and I went off, and then I had a couple people in my DMs, like asking if I still read the Bible and like just too much. So
Yeah.
yeah, it pissed me off.
I wasn't. I didn't know all your Facebook lore. I wasn't. I don't. I have to follow you on Facebook now. I want to see all this stuff because I just
Yeah,
see your Instagram.
well,
But
it's the same
I guess
shit.
you don't get yeah. I guess more people on Facebook because they know you from. I guess like older people that know you, and they're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's
Whoa,
not.
Gene's cussing on Facebook. You know.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not necessarily fans. It's just these people that
Right.
I.
Right.
But that's why I've always. I was actually gonna ask you, out of all the social media, because you're Gen Z,
Yeah.
what do you gravitate towards the most?
I like Instagram,
See?
but TikTok is. I mean, for me, TikTok is
Yeah.
easier to run ads on
Okay.
because I can't figure out Meta Ads Manager yet. I'm working on that. It's hard. It's hard to
What do
figure
you
out.
mean? You
Like
talk about when you
to like boost a reel, but
and
like there's a way to
right?
do it if you do like to run it on Facebook and Instagram
Yeah.
together, and then there's like a way to track what people click on, but it's like it's hard to figure out. I'm still trying to figure it out because like I have to like figure out my Facebook page because I have like a professional dashboard thing,
Yeah.
but I don't. But it's like you can't. That's what's linked to my Instagram. So like when I post on Instagram, it posts to there. But
Is your Instagram a business account?
yes,
Okay.
it is, and I have to figure out. I have to like maybe set up like an actual just Facebook page, and then I'll just put them on that one. But to answer your question, personally, I like Instagram, but I think more people in my generation do like TikTok. But it's a close call because I know a lot of my friends like Instagram, but I know a lot of people that like TikTok. I like Instagram more, but that's just me.
I
But I
think
like
you
Instagram.
I think the TikTok thing is changing
It is.
because
It's not what it used to be.
I'll tell you why. I was always like really concerned about I gotta put all my stuff on TikTok too, even though I hate it. I've
Right.
never liked TikTok. Um, and I think it has to do with because Instagram had my algorithm already. Like it was ready feeding me all kinds of bullshit that I like,
Yeah.
and that's what I grew up with. So I already had people following me. So when I got TikTok, I was like, this is shit because it's like
Doesn't know your
it doesn't
thing.
you
Yeah.
know, and I'm not gonna. It was hard to change my habit of like I'm already going on Instagram Reels. Now
Yeah.
now I gotta open TikTok too and try to get like used to that. So then I was like, well, I don't like it, but I'll just post all my stuff to it and see what happens. So I started doing that, and then with the work and everything and like not being able to do this a lot, I kind of just gave up on the
Hmm.
and partially because if you use like your song on Instagram and stuff like that, it'll post to Facebook,
Yeah.
but if I think if you rip it, if you like download it from Instagram, the reel you made, and then you put it on TikTok,
Hmm.
it'll like I think I had problems where um it muted the song and
Oh,
stuff for
that's annoying.
copyright reasons.
Yeah.
So it's just a pain in the ass, and I just
Right.
stopped doing it. But um, fortunately, the last two jobs that I worked, because I think I told you the story of I used to be in construction and I worked for heavy equipment, and then that went under that company,
Right.
and then
Right.
I had a part-time job at Chipotle, so then I go into management there, and then I left there for a promise to pay the bills, and I went to another fast food place and was management there. But the two things the last two jobs had in common was that I was around a lot of younger people,
Mm.
and it gave me an idea of like where their mind is at. And I always thought that TikTok was like the thing. Like
Mm.
you guys were like all
Right.
done with Facebook and Instagram. And the more I observed, like I I've asked that same question to like a ton of Gen Z people, and they're all leaning towards Instagram
Really?
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's just
I
better.
really can't think of anybody that said TikTok.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll work out for me since I'm
Yeah.
so
It's
hooked
good.
on Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok is like a few years ago it was cool, but it was now it's like every time I'm on, there's someone just trying to sell you shit. Like on the now
Yeah.
that there's the TikTok shop, so then they do like if you get people to use your code or something to buy the thing on the TikTok shop, they get money. So everyone's trying to do that, and there's just people just trying to sell you bullshit that no one cares about, and it's. I mean, my now that I'm like, if I'm on it a little bit more, it figures out that I don't like those videos, so it won't give them to me. But it's like you said, Instagram has it all figured out already.
Yeah.
I don't have to program another algorithm. I just post on it really, and that's it. I'm not like if I want to doom scroll on my phone, it's gonna be on Instagram. It's not gonna be on TikTok really, just because I
Yeah.
just like it and I like it more.
Yeah. And do you feel like it went downhill after America bought it? Because didn't that happen under Trump? Like it
I don't
went
know if they
from
ever did. Maybe it was. I think I loved it during COVID
okay.
when everyone was on because everyone was making videos all the
Hmm.
time, and that was also before the TikTok shop was a thing. And then even before all that happened, like a couple years ago, I just started going on Instagram more. So maybe
Yeah.
I just started it back then. I really liked it like a couple years ago. Then I was on Instagram all the time, and then I just abandoned TikTok
Yeah.
like that. I don't know why, but then I just love Instagram now, and that's what I'm on. But couldn't really tell you what's changed since then. I know they got rid of there used to be like the For You page and then like the following page or something, and then they added the friends page and this page and this page and this page, and now there's like 7 things up there, and reels, you just click the reels button and there's all your reels, and that's really it.
I think part of my issue with it is that it it is all reels on TikTok, like or TikTok videos, I guess you call them. But it was strange to me to like scroll and watch 10 seconds of a video, and if you like it, stay on it. Like it did something to like
Mm-hmm.
my head, like it bugs my eyes out. I don't know what it is, but like I kind of like on Instagram how it's like it could be a reel
Mm-hmm.
or it could be just a post, and it could be a meme, it could like
Yeah.
anything, and you know or one of those things where you ever see one where like it's like something to read and you go to the next one, you swipe to the right,
The
and
carousel.
so it's like
Yeah.
it's more like calming to my mind.
You sure? Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm just used to it, but overall I think for bands and artists, I think it's better for us.
Especially the community building aspect.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more it's just easier to do it. I feel like not that it's impossible to do on TikTok, but
Mm,
it's Instagram is like you can there is a carousel feature, and TikTok has it now, but no one uses it. You
right.
go on TikTok, it's video, 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 video. Like, but you can do it. You can upload pictures to TikTok, but no one does it because the algorithm never pushes them out to anyone really.
Okay.
Instagram, at least your followers will see it.
Well,
Bottom line.
I do notice if I make a post with just a picture, it doesn't reach as many people as
Yeah,
the reels.
feel that same here.
But I I don't know. I think it's just but I think it's better to make reels. Forces you to be more uh, creative,
Right.
more artistic, you know.
Yeah, yeah. More people can see it if they're just scrolling and it shoves it out to someone.
Yeah. Um I'm gonna try to put more stuff out there
Hmm.
because so this job was you were asking me about it when you walked in, and I was working 72 hours a week on average,
Oh my god.
and 12 to 12,
Yeah.
6 days a week. So 12 to close, and um, and sometimes I'm getting out at midnight, sometimes I'm getting out at 1 in the morning.
Hmm.
On a good day, maybe 11:45. And so I'm waking up, make coffee, take a shower, get ready for work. 12 o'clock rolls around fast,
Yeah.
and 6 days a week. So I had one day off, and that day would roll around, and I'd like get on my own case. I'd be like, dude, you gotta play your guitar, you gotta write a song, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, one thing about creativity, and I don't know if you're the same way, but if I don't give, you gotta have some time.
Hmm.
And when you have some time, stuff's gonna start flowing to you, whether it's an idea for a reel or an idea for music, a new riff, a lyric hits you, you write down, um, or maybe nothing comes to you, and at the least you get in some practice,
Right. Yeah.
and
Of
you
course.
just play your old stuff, and it's like, but when you don't have any time, and it was so easy for me to just be like, well, I got one day, so I gotta run errands or I gotta relax.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so tough, man.
And if I relaxed, then nothing gets done,
Right.
and I'm not tired the next day. But if I would you know, go to the grocery store, go here, go there, and clean the house, and then I'm tired at work the next day. And then I gotta work a whole nother
Six
6 days in a
days.
row. So it was like a prison.
Yeah.
And I was salary, it paid enough to pay the bills, but eventually, and the guy I was working for was just
Hmm.
on another level.
Right.
Worst management I've ever worked for in my life. So it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I don't know what it's gonna look like, but taking a leap of faith, I gotta get out of here,
Yeah.
you know? And I couldn't do it anymore.
How long were you doing that for? A year?
So it's been a hard road because this is what it looked like. Since I've been in this house by myself, at first I had my job at the heavy equipment place.
Hmm.
Then when I'm alone, I go, oh shit, I'm gonna need a second job now. So I go get a second job. Now I'm working around 70 hours a week between both.
Hmm.
Then the first job went under. Now I'm stuck with just a part time job. So now I'm like freaking out because I'm not making enough. And so I
Right.
go, I'll go into management here. So I went into management there, but it still wasn't enough. And you know, I'm scrambling to try to figure out what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I'm applying to all kinds of jobs. And then I had a friend that knew this guy, and he goes, "You're going to have to work a lot, but you're guaranteed this much a week." And I said, "Okay." So I jumped on it because it was my only option. And so it went from working 70 hours to not working enough hours to working 70 hours plus at one single job with the worst hours possible. Because if it was 72 hours a week, but I got up and I went in at 6 or 7 in the morning, and then and then I had a little time at night, I'd be tired, but it would leave some room to, like,
breathe a little bit. It's 12 to 12.
Right.
That's the worst shift imaginable, man. Because 12 is like you wake up in the morning and then you have it looming over you.
And it was terrible because this guy was a GM, and he was never there. Like barely ever showed up. There'd be days that go by and we'd be like, "Have you seen him?" No. And I got hired for management, so it was like, there's me and one other manager there, and I was working way more hours than the other guy. And it was kind of like, the more I looked at it, I was like, "So you hired me to kind of, you're never gonna show up, and I'm gonna run the show here, like 90% of the time," and that's, so there's too much. There's stuff I can't even say on here that I witnessed there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that it was a bad situation.
Right. It's good you got out of there. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, if you did 7 to 7, at least then you get up, and you're able to just get it done. I mean, it's long, but at least you can get it done. But I mean, are you more creative like at night, or does it really matter the time of day for you?
I am a night owl, and I would like nights to be available to play out, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But as far as creativity, it can hit me anytime. Anytime.
Yeah.
And a lot of my problem has been that it's hit me at the worst times. Like, I'll be at work and I start getting a riff going or a lyric in my head, and you can't write it down, you can't record it, you can't try to play it. So working that much really got in the way, and it's hard because you're watching everybody else out there. My friends are out there playing music. And I want to be there. So the day I quit, I went to the open mic at the Asbury Park Brewery, and I walked in, and John Michael's face is like, "You're here,"
Yeah.
And it felt so good.
That's good.
Felt like, you ever watch somebody come back in the WWE?
Yeah.
And the music goes off, and like it's like, that's what it felt like.
That's great.
It felt like I was home.
Yeah, that's good. I went from like not seeing John Michael for like 8 months, and then I was in Red Bank one day, and I walk into a record store, and he's like, "Beast," and I just look, I'm like, "Oh, hey!" Like, he was drumming for some guy, they were doing a show, and it's just, I didn't even know he was there. But it's pretty funny. I could just run into him. Like one time, like he works at that Starbucks, and I ran into him at that Starbucks.
Okay.
There used to be a GameStop right next door,
Yeah.
and I just happened to be in Asbury that day. Me and my friend went in there, and then I come out, and there's a guy facing the other way on the phone. And you know how you can kind of tell John Michael, you know, he has his hair kind of comes out of his hat a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, said to my friend, like, because my friend came with me to open mics, like he was my keyboardist. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he would come to like at the hotel and the Belmar sometimes, and I said to him, like, that's John Michael. He's like, no, it's not. Like, that's John Michael. John Michael turns around.
Yeah.
He's like, that's John Michael. I was like, hey man, you know. So he's a great guy, and I'm sure. I mean, if I ever went away and came back, it's one of the first faces I want to see. Probably either him, Live and Proof, or Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring a big smile to your face.
Now that I have more time, you know, I gotta see you play.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta go out to one of these things, and I could start showing up at other people's stuff. I'll surprise them.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be fun.
but I'm with you there with living proof. I didn't know you're like knew each other at all.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, he does like security at the ponies.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
see him over
right.
there,
So you
and
know him from that.
I know him from that. Oh, it's funny. The first time we played there was in 2024, and that was before I was going to any open mics, and I saw him there. I didn't like formally meet him, but I saw him there, and then. I started going to the open mics, and I was like, do you do security at the pony? He's like, yeah. And then we just started talking every time, and then I'd see him there, and I'll still see him around sometimes. But yeah, he's a great guy, and his episode here was cool. And
Does he get into all the spiritual stuff with
sometimes,
you? Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes he raps.
The interesting thing about that is that he's very into Gnosticism. And, you know, so he comes on the show and he starts telling me all this shit. And it's very interesting. A lot of common ground between beliefs and everything. But a lot of it was new to me. And I'm like, wow. So a couple months go by and something in my life happened that was my brother and I have always we've been cool for a long. He's gonna come on the show, like I said, but you know, we never were enemies,
Right.
but just like distant. And for whatever reason, I went down to Florida to visit my family. I almost died on the way back. I could tell you about that.
All right.
But I go down to Florida and I visited my family down there. And I guess for whatever reason, I was getting my car fixed down there. And as I'm waiting for my car, I was walking around the parking lot and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to call my brother, tell him, you know, about our family and the stuff I'm seeing because they're getting older and everything.
Right.
So I called him and we ended up talking for a few hours. And since then, like, we just grew way closer and we're on the phone like all of the time. And it's interesting because my brother is very into the same belief system that Living Proof is. And so it was interesting. He came on the show. I'm like hearing all this for the first time. And then my brother is like explaining all the same stuff to me that he's been studying. And I'm like, whoa, you know, so it just a weird synchronicity, you know, and myself, like, one of the things in the diss track that I'll be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have went after her for, and I'll say this on the podcast, was that there's a lyric in there about like burning sage,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like she's probably a witch. And here I am having a spiritual awakening, and I have it right there, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, it's been a weird 5 months for me. Like, totally turned my head around.
yeah, yeah.
I used to be really depressed
Mm-hmm.
with everything I went through, and like, it was kind of like a default
Right.
was like things could make me happy, but when that's over, I would go back to being depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get out of it, and I was drinking, and you know, and then I was talking to somebody, and something clicked, and it changed the way that I think about even my belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being very deep into Christianity for years, and that I was kind of looking at it from the wrong angle. And when I looked at it from this angle, it fixed, it like reset, it rewired my brain.
Right.
And now I'm at this point where like it's the opposite, because I could still get pissed off, I could still get sad. Something could make me sad, it could make me upset, but when I'm over it, my default is happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it used to always fall back on,
Right. Right.
you know. So yeah, and I used to write so much about pain, and you know how that made me feel, and
Mm-hmm.
then there was a shift, and it kind of started around when I wrote The Lion,
Mm-hmm.
but like it it snowballed since then, and it became like I'm not writing from a place of defeat anymore. You know,
Right.
like I'm writing from a place, even if I'm angry, it's like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right.
it's it's more positive, and I got really into meditation and stuff, and it like changed my world.
Mm-hmm.
You ever do that?
Funny enough, I music always is kind of a way of meditating for me.
Okay.
Um, but it fulfills the same purpose, I guess, of finding a balance and resetting yourself, grounding yourself. So in a way, yeah, but
Yeah.
not in the traditional sense, but in a way, I mean, everyone kind of should find something that does that for
Right.
them, so you don't, you know, get lost in yourself. And it's a powerful thing if you can find a way to reset. And
Yeah. It changes the whole
yeah,
day
it
for me.
does really. I mean, every morning I go for a walk and I'll listen to music, and that's
Okay.
in a way like that's like you know, I'm away from everything, and that's
That
that's what I
is
do.
that is a good way to do it. Yeah. I didn't have a car for 3 months,
Right, I remember that.
and so I would walk around um, with my headphones on, and it was very therapeutic because either that or driving with music,
Right, yeah.
something about it. Um, the car is probably the. I have a really nice speaker over there. I got.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
but and I have those, but they gotta be fixed.
Hmm.
But something about the car,
Yeah.
it's like the best place to listen to music.
Right. It's funny. I don't listen to music really
When you drive?
in my house. I was gonna say
Oh,
when I
in your
drive all the
house.
time, when I walk all the time. That's why I just try to walk a lot and drive a lot, and I'll listen to music like while I'm working. Sometimes like at my house, if I'm like working on flyers for a show or something, doing like the business stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like if I want to listen to an album, I'll walk around and listen to an album. I don't know. I'd like to be moving while I'm listening, but like walking or driving, like you said, I think like driving with music is great,
Yeah.
and it's great, and sometimes it even makes a trip go by faster, if
Yeah.
you know. And I'm lucky. Like I work in a grocery store, so I can like have an earbud in, and I can listen to music while I work, which is nice. It's a
Okay.
good. If I wasn't able to do that, I would. There's no way in hell I would be able to work there, because like I
Yeah.
just need music to get me through the day.
Yeah, where I was working, you know, it's funny because most places I've worked that play like a playlist in the
Right.
background,
Yeah.
everybody bitches because it's the same thing on the same loop
Yeah.
over and over. And,
Right.
oh, I've heard this song a million times. But then you work in a place where there's no music.
Right.
And, I worked in mechanic shops, obviously, and they're always blasting metal and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But then, like the last job I had, didn't no music
Nothing.
playing, just like silence in there, and it's just like
Oh.
torture. And when I worked behind a desk at the dealership, um, they didn't always have music going, and it was
Mhm.
like that dead silence too. But you could play it low on your computer at least, and that helped.
A little bit. It's a
But
little something.
but when you work in a place that plays no music at all,
Mm.
and like it was almost like I would kill for the playlist that repeats over and over
Yeah,
that everybody
that's
hates.
torturous.
Yeah,
You got nothing. Oh my god.
yeah,
Yeah, that's awful. I mean, even just so you have at least something,
yeah.
just some kind of something to get you through. I mean, it's like, yeah, I couldn't imagine that, man. And that's good. It's good you got out of that.
But you
That's-
don't watch or you don't listen to music at home at all.
I have I'll spin some vinyl. I have a record player, so I'll listen to like
Yeah,
vinyl records like while I work, But
I got a whole stack of vinyl over there.
yeah, that's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Like when I'm like I said, like when I'm doing business stuff, I'll have music on, of course. Um, but of course, like while I'm writing, I won't have music on
Mm.
because I'm trying to just get in like a headspace to write. But and a lot of the time I'm in my car, outside somewhere listening. But I will. But it's almost like if I have the time to sit in my room and listen to music,
Yeah.
I'll go for a walk and listen to music. If it's not, disastrous weather conditions outside.
When you write, I'm just curious because you're also a guitar player. Did you bring your guitar?
I did not bring my guitar.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
This whole thing. It's got to get restrung. It's gonna sound bad. I didn't wanna.
Yeah. I have a friend that gave me an electric bass,
Sweet.
an acoustic bass.
That's awesome.
But you could plug it in,
Yeah.
and it was my old friend I visited when I went down to Florida on the way back, and out of the blue, he just goes in his car. He's like, "You want this?"
Nice.
And I was like, "You don't want to learn how to play it? No, you can have it."
Yeah.
So, I think it's an Ibanez
Sweet.
or an Alvarez, I forget. But yeah, it's totally cool. But
That's
I gotta
nice.
restring it still. Uh, I was gonna ask you though, when you write, what's the process like? Like, do you start with guitars, and then you put lyrics over it, or you start with a poem?
I'll go back and forth. I've done a few different things, a couple different things. Like sometimes I'll start just strumming something if I have like a word in my head or like a line in my head, and I'll like record it and I'll just like mumble stuff,
Okay.
see if anything's decipherable. Like that's if I don't have anything I want to write about. That's if
Yeah.
I'm just want to see what comes out of me and then
Right.
connect it to something later. But if I have like something in my mind that I want, something that you want to get something off your chest or whatever, you have something you want to say. That's usually a poem or something. I'll write down on like a legal pad, and then I'll find a guitar thing that goes with it, bend some words, to form a song that way. And that's kind of maybe what happens most of the time. But like when I was, when I was just starting out and didn't have anything to write about, that's I would just play and see what came out of me.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to do. I don't do it much anymore, but still, I mean, it's going to come a time where I do that again, of course. So it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
What about you?
So for me, because I do the drums, the guitars, the bass, I do everything on it. So, usually it starts with a lyric that's repeating in my head over and over. Just one thing. And I always tell people about like when I wrote a song called Take My Pain, and like the end of the chorus, it's like, take my pain. And I just heard that for months in my head. I was like, what the? So eventually it just became a thing. And I played guitar one day and it came out. But it's funny because, like, I seem to, like, approach it at different angles every time. Because I've done it that way with the lyric first. I've also written a whole song of, I'll come up with on the guitar an intro,
Right.
a verse, a chorus, pre-chorus, bridge, and I'll write the whole thing out, and then I'll record it, and then I'll write all the lyrics over it. Then I've also approached it where I start with the drum beat. And like the diss track, I did a Tupac cover a long time ago that I couldn't release.
I remember that. Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
So I wanted to come up with a new rap beat and come up with something original. So I took the kick drum pattern off of that, and then I altered it, and then I put that on a loop. And then I started writing guitar riffs to it. And eventually I came up with something, and I knew I wanted pianos in it. So there's a little piano in there. It's in the background. But put that in there and came up with something. And then I wrote all the lyrics. It was shit that was heavy on my mind, so I was like, I gotta take my time with this one. And truth be told, the original version was much worse than what it came out to be. Not that I made it like nicer, but the original lyrics were like too fucked up to the point where I was like, is this really how I feel, or is this just anger?
Yeah, right, right, yeah.
So I started really thinking about what I wanted to say and how to get that point across.
What's real?
Yeah.
Right, I get that.
Yeah. And so that one took a long time and a lot of hesitation on, is this ready to go yet? And I already had like 2 songs done, and I was like, I don't know if this is ready to put out there. And it held up the whole process between work and everything. And then I eventually, in that EP, if you haven't listened to it, if you have a chance, like, from beginning to end because
Alright.
it goes. You probably only heard the diss track yet,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but um, the first track is complete hip hop, and it's like an intro to the rest of it, and then it goes new metal,
Alright.
and then it goes like the rock rap thing, like the diss track, and then there's a little interlude that's really cool, and then it goes alternative rock. So I
Okay.
covered like all of these grounds.
I'll listen to it from front to back.
Yeah,
I'll get it. And
yeah,
take me on a journey.
yeah,
And I do like it goes in different genres. That's cool.
yeah.
That is cool. I do like stuff that does that. So we'll check it out.
Well, I don't think you should ever put yourself in a box.
Right.
And that's advice I have to anybody. Is like a lot of people don't like when bands change too much. Like if you have a favorite band and then they um at some point like maybe you ever hear people say like, oh, they started getting really like pop oriented and just killed it.
Right.
And that happens.
I have heard that.
Yeah, that happened with me and Skillet. I used to love Skillet.
Right.
And then you ever listen to any of them?
No, but I remember you talked about it last time. Yeah.
Oh
A
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
But they were so much heavier on their older stuff, and then all of a sudden they just started getting. And supposedly they're going back to a heavier sound.
Okay.
So I'm happy about
That's
that.
good.
But for me, I think I don't like putting myself in one category.
That's fair.
You know.
That's fair.
And I think it's also just interesting, because especially with the rap stuff, like no one saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
And now I can my dad always hated rap, so now I'm a white rapper.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, you're an Eminem fan too, right?
yeah,
Yeah. There you go.
yeah. But yeah, and there's a lot of Eminem, especially on that video.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inspiration because if you remember back in the day when he was dressing up like Marilyn Manson and stuff in the video.
Yeah.
So a lot of influence by that, and a lot of influence from Kid Rock. Big Kid Rock guy too.
What's your favorite Eminem album?
So here's my journey with Eminem. I listened to all the old stuff, My Name Is and all that,
Yeah.
and all the way up to like Recovery when I was growing up. And then quite a few years went by that I didn't listen to him as much. And in like 2018, he came out with the album Kamikaze,
Yeah.
and I love that album.
That's a great album.
Yeah. And I could relate to it because of the way he felt, and he was like really upset with the reaction on the previous album.
Revival.
Yeah, so he just
Yeah.
went off on everybody, and I was like, man, like, and that's how I've always been. Is like, that's why it's the heart thing, because it's like, I want to pour my heart out. I want you to know exactly what I'm feeling. Like wear your heart on your sleeve.
Right.
And he just has a way of like just putting it all out there, especially on that album.
Yeah.
So I want to say that album, but Music to Be Murdered By was great after that.
That's a great record. Yeah.
And then the one
That is great.
he just did last year, That's a Slim Shady, was one of the most creative things I've ever heard.
Right? I thought it was great. I knew a lot of people they didn't like it, but I'm like, you have to read into it.
They didn't like it.
They didn't like it. I mean, then I stopped talking to them.
Yeah.
It was just that's such a good album, and I love like.
I didn't know you were an Eminem fan.
Yeah, I am.
I wouldn't have seen that coming.
I love like the references to that other music video from the Eminem show. You're gonna hate me. I forget what the song is, but where he's dressed up as Robin.
Yeah.
And then it's like an old Batman, but then he's like an older Robin now, and he's like that. That's so cool, and it's like a throwback, and I love that the latest album, and people I know were like, yeah, it's not a good album, but you have to listen to it for more than just like the beat. You have to like listen to what he's saying, listen to like what he's talking about, and I think it's a great album because of if you actually listen to it.
Also, the fact that he was arguing with himself from the past, and you notice like, well, in the music video, like Slim Shady comes through the portal, and it's so funny when the girl's like using the selfie stick and walking the robotic dog and stuff. And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But even on the album, he like, you notice that they like changed his voice. Like they must have used AI or something. So even though it was his new raps and everything, except that one song, but it was they like made his voice like sound younger, like a little more higher pitch. Yeah. And then you hear the duel of him going back and forth with his older self. Yeah. And it was like, see, the thing I love about him is that he's like, there's a lot of rappers that I love. I love DMX, I love Snoop, I love so many, and I listen to the old Jay-Z, Linkin Park stuff, and like, but the thing about Eminem is that like he's got the most creative, the way that he'll say something and it means two things at once. Yeah. And it's like the way he thinks, the lyrics, and just even the thing with going back and forth with his older self is like, he's got one of the most creative minds I've ever seen in any artist. 100%. And whether you like what he's talking about or not, it's undeniable.
Right. He's very, very creative, and people, they say they're like, oh, he fell off. He didn't fall off. No. He really didn't. I mean, there's like, he's still got it, but he's evolving. And he doesn't try to put himself into a box and pretend to be something he's not. He's arguing with his younger self about what his younger self would think about the world and his work. And it's a really creative thing that no one else was doing. Right. And it's like, just when you think of, like, after he drops Music to Be Murdered by Part 1 and 2, like, what's he going to do next? Mm-hmm. And then he puts that out, and no one was expecting that. Yeah. And it was such a great, I remember like listening to it, like, that. This is great. And he's so creative, and it's really like, not many people like him today.
Yeah, I've never seen him in concert either.
Me neither. I want to go see him. I don't, like, every time I look up when he was playing, so I always like miss something. Yeah. Like I never see an ad for an Eminem tour, but he always does like 20 shows, and then they're all done by the time I see it. I'm like, when did he do this? Like, it's crazy.
You know what else I admire about him as like a famous person? He stays out of a lot of bullshit. Right, yeah. Like, he did his little, like, Kamala Harris endorsement thing, but other than that, like, you never see, like, celebrity news about him.
Never a scandal.
Right.
Never any legal troubles aside from, like, the gun charge 25 years ago. But
it's almost like he keeps his life like super private.
Yeah, he's just
Like
too busy making albums.
Yeah,
He's too
like,
busy working to get involved.
like he makes his appearances at shows
Right.
and he releases his music, but other than that, he's just at home. And he seems to be very family oriented too.
Yes, he does.
Like you could tell that on Houdini when he's joking about his kids are like flipping him off on the FaceTime and stuff, and so like definitely like somebody I would love to talk to him.
Yeah, and he seems like he's not a snob.
Right.
Because he's not like, he didn't let any success change him either.
No.
He's very like humble, and he seems like a great guy to have a conversation. He would give people the time of day to talk to them. He's not like, who are you? I don't know. He's not like that.
Right.
And that's a really respectable thing, of course. And like he's a great guy to want to talk to, because he would be.
And to handle fame, like there's not many people that are that famous. I don't know how you can handle that amount. Like, if you go on his monthly listeners, it's like hundreds of millions. Like, I could pull it up now, but
yeah, it's up there. It's up there. Yeah, I mean,
where like you think,
right.
like some of my favorite bands are like, they'll have like 7 million monthly listeners, and it's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But if you were Eminem, like,
just don't let it get to you. I mean, don't let pressure get to you. I think pressure is the one thing that kills a lot of people's art. Is they get in their head and think, what if it's not good enough? But it was good enough to get you to where you're at.
Right.
And I think, they let pressure get to them, and then it's, aside from what sometimes a lot of people can't handle pressure mentally, which is a whole nother thing. But if you're strictly talking like albums, they try to go too much from what is them, and then people can sense that when you're not being you, and I feel like that can also get in the way. And Eminem always did a great job of just being himself. I mean, obviously, like literally with the last record, it's him. He's always unapologetically been himself, but the last one was a very interesting way of still doing that. Yeah, and that's like, and I think that's what keeps him is him just always being himself and never trying to be someone he's not, because that's what can get into your head and fuck you up.
Right. That's another thing that really influenced me. And when I was growing up, so my mom was a huge Kid Rock fan, and so I was always listening to Kid Rock.
Right.
My brother got really into Eminem, and I'm this little kid, and so I'm listening to both of them all the time. And then the next thing I know, my mom's like listening to Eminem, and she's putting on, the hits from back then. We're driving around town and listening to that all the time, and of course she'd skip the song like if it was too bad, and
Kim.
like so. But that's what I grew up on, other than the stuff that I was into on my own, like Linkin Park and, hard rock and stuff like that. Yeah. And a lot of influence from my dad too, with metal and stuff. But something about Eminem and Kid Rock was that they had this thing where it was just like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to say exactly what I want to say. And if you don't like it, too bad. And as I grew up, and it's manifesting more than ever now, but it's something I always carried from them was like, you got, I could be wrong about this, but you got one life here. And are you going to hide what you really think, or are you going to say it?
Right. And there's a lot of people that are looking for that in music. They want to find someone who is like that. And, I think that's the best thing when an artist does that. You know, everyone can sense that, and everyone like starts to like if you look at like artists when they stop hiding, that's when they really get people into them. Is when they just bleed onto a record,
Yeah.
and they're just unapologetically them, and then people can listen to that and they're just like, oh, I went through something like this, or I like the way this person makes me feel because then they're them, and that's prevalent with Eminem. It's prevalent with many other artists, you know,
Yeah.
that do that, and it's what separates like stuff that is just okay. Like it
Yeah.
can sound good. You can have a great producer that makes you want to dance to it, but is it going to make you be like, I want to listen to every interview from this artist. I want to find out what they're talking about. I want to find out their process. I want to go to their shows. I want to do this. Maybe, but not as much as for someone like Eminem who
Yeah.
bleeds onto a record and is like, this is me. This is all. This is the full package right here,
Right.
and it's gonna be on this album, and then like, people love it, and I love it. It's
I've
great.
I've also heard like there was one influencer I follow on Instagram, and he was talking about it one day, and he goes, um, "I never blew up until I stopped caring." He's like,
Yeah,
when I just let it go and
yeah,
just said what I wanted to say,
right.
it's like people have this fear of losing their fans,
Yeah,
and you might, but you know you're gonna gain all the people that are on board with you.
that are real. Yeah, I
So
agree.
it's like worth the risk, you know?
100%, man. Because it gets to a point you won't be able to keep it up anyway if you're not you,
Right.
or it's gonna get like I said, yeah, it'll be too exhausting. But people are gonna eventually see through it anyway if you're not being yourself,
Yeah.
and it's you know it's yeah it's you got to be you. Yeah, you have to be you. And I see artists that aren't themselves, and you know
In the
it.
scene,
It's, not really. I mean, I'm not really.
you
I
don't
haven't
have
been
to say
going. I haven't
who,
been going.
but
All
okay.
right, maybe yeah, maybe some people. I don't. You know, I haven't been going though. That's a
Yeah.
fair thing. I haven't been going,
Putting on a
but
little bit of a
but
gimmick to,
there is people that like aren't. That are very far removed
hmm
from not like people that have not even like a persona, but people that are like so just not them, and then you see it, and then you're like, well, you're not you, and
hmm
you know how am I gonna? But they can't even really make you feel anything to begin with. But I know
yeah.
people that like they use a persona to get something out of them. You know, like they
Yeah.
might use a persona to dive deep into themselves emotionally. And that's a weird way of saying it, but
Yeah.
you can be yourself in more ways than one. It doesn't have to be just like Eminem. His way of being emotional is saying "fuck you," I'm gonna be me.
Right.
But there's people that are saying this person broke up with me, and I'm gonna write a whole album about it and
hmm
about how I feel. And here's my side of the story. And here's me being unapologetically me in this way, and that also works.
hmm
And I think that that's great when people can do that. I mean, especially
Yeah.
like you said, you know, the second I stopped caring, I started blowing up, and you know, it's like it doesn't even have to be the amount of peace you find when you just stop caring. It doesn't even matter if you blow up or not. You just feel so much better when you just don't give a shit anymore. When you're just like, I'm
Yes.
just gonna here's my shit,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna be me. And the
Yep.
amount of peace you find, I don't know, it looks nicer outside all of a sudden. I feel better about
Yeah.
myself when, like, especially like if you ever have someone that you're like always trying to impress, maybe, or you're trying to be like,
hmm
look at what I'm doing, look at what I'm doing. It's not going to work because then, you know, like the more you chase something, the more it's going to run away from you. I feel like but then by the time
Yeah.
you can't fake not wanting it though. Because when you truly don't want it and that
Mm.
thing might come back to you, you're going to be like, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't care at this point.
Right.
You know,
Well, that's the law of detachment,
right,
right?
right.
Yeah. That's something that it's in my studies.
Mhm.
Um, because that's a whole another take on it. It's very like karma based, the
Yeah,
things that I'm thinking about and everything, and it's kind of like the frequencies that you put out
yeah,
is what's reflected back to you, and
mhm,
that's very biblical.
yeah, right.
It's what Jesus was teaching, and oh, that's part of the thing about churchianity is they're not they're afraid of that.
Hmm.
They're kind of afraid to admit it, and it's when you take like you reap what you sow, they make it out to be like put money in the
Yeah.
in the bowl you pass around and
Right.
tithe, and that'll come back to you, and if you go do good things it's gonna come, but that's not what it's about. It's about inside.
Hmm.
If you can give all you want and like do all these nice deeds for people, but if you're getting up every day and looking at the world like, well, I do all these nice things and it never comes back to me, and and everybody's, you know, an asshole and the whole world is gray, and
Hmm.
there's I can't pay my bills and I can't do this and I can't and I can't do, and this
Yeah.
sucks and that sucks and these people treat me this way. All of that is
Comes back.
gonna that's it's this whole thing is a reflection of what's going on in you. So
Right.
if you know what I mean?
Got to find it inside yourself. You're not going to find
Right.
it going like like you said. Yeah, it's a reflection of you and how you look at things. And if you wake up every day and think this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, I hate the way this looks, I hate the way this looks, it's not going to do you any good, regardless
Yeah.
of what you believe in at all. It's just a fact. It's going to fuck you up mentally.
Right.
You gotta, like you said, you gotta like try to at least try to be like, oh, find like a thing that is brings positive energy out of you.
Right.
And then that might multiply because it sure as hell isn't gonna if it's all negative. Bottom line, it's not like math. Negative energy won't make you happy.
Yeah.
It's not like a negative equals a positive. Like no, not in real life. You have to, not with your brain and how you think about things. And it's I see a lot of people like on social media, and I don't know people in person, but a lot of people think like, oh, like they'll post like maybe like a feel sorry for me post, like musicians, and they'll be like, oh, I posted this many things and no one gives a shit about me, and I did this, no one cares, and I did this, no one cares. I'm like, well, that's not gonna make people care. I mean, like you gotta like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just feel like
There's
you
also
gotta like just be yourself, start being you, and don't like do that because it's gonna like, you're gonna gain sympathy fans and you might bring up your Spotify monthly listeners for a little
Yeah.
bit, and then they're gonna leave. I
but
don't know. They're
it's
not real.
also like to worry about your success too much is killing it.
Yeah.
Because if you're worried about how many listeners you have and how many followers you have and who's paying attention to you,
Right.
and you know you're you're gonna drive yourself mad for one, and on the other hand, wanting something too much is pushing it away because you're worried about the outcome of whether or not people listen to you or they don't. And if you're worried about whether it's a good or bad outcome, your reality is going to reflect the worry in there mixed with the good. So
Right.
it's like you're, but if you stop giving a shit and just be thankful for the people that are listening to you,
Yeah.
that's going to be reflected and you're just going to grow.
Right. And like I said, I agree with you. You're gonna drive yourself crazy, and because you can't be focused on. Like I think deep down when I'm making a song, I'm not gonna go into a song and say I want to make a bad song, because that's what I feel. It's just not. It's not what I feel. I don't. Maybe some people I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm also not like a grungy like fuck you, like this is what I am, like, and that some of those songs end up being just great because of like we were talking about, because it's
Yeah.
just them. But like if I make a song and I'm like, oh, I want to make a song with a hook here because I want it to sound good, I'm doing it for me. I'm not gonna. But you can't, like, I agree, you can't do it with people in mind, because you're just gonna drive
Yeah.
people away, and that's what everyone says. That's what people that are sitting at the top of the hill in a mansion say. That people who
Yeah.
understand this, people, they say, look, it's not gonna work. You think it's gonna work? It's not gonna work, because you can't try to please everyone. You're gonna please no one.
Rick Rubin actually said that.
Right.
He said like when you write a song or you make a piece of art,
Right.
you don't make it for anyone else. You make it for you.
Right.
Who receives it that way, who enjoys it, those
Yeah.
people will come. So,
Right.
yeah. It's interesting that you could view the thing we do in music as two different, like you could view it like a sport, like an activity. Like, oh, this is my hobby. But we just spent so many minutes of the podcast discussing like the spirit. There's a spiritual side to it.
100%. Yeah. It's life and death in a way.
Yeah.
It's like you're like when you listen to like people. Yeah, I guess some people think it's a hobby. For me, it could be like the furthest thing from a hobby. Like it's all I want to do. It's what I wake up in the morning and listen to music. If I don't, it fucks up my entire day.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is. And I just like if you listen to other people's records, you can tell they kind of feel that same like life or death way. Like if you listen to Bruce Springsteen's album Born to Run, that was made at a time in his life where he had no money. He was living in an apartment and he was impoverished. He had no money. He had 2 albums out, but they weren't like he was playing 300 nights a year and barely making enough money to come by it. In that album, you can tell every song is him trying to escape. Born to Run is a song about escape. Thunder Road is a song about escape. And like you can hear it if you like you can feel it. The way he's singing is like that was his last shot. That was the last bullet in the gun with his record label. They were going to drop him if he didn't hit. And he's like truly like, he goes over the top on some songs. And that's why a lot of people are like, that's his best album. Because he was just like, fuck it. This is it.
Yeah.
This is all we got left.
Yeah.
This is it. And he also found his sound in that album. But I think it was really because of the fact that it was like, if this album doesn't do anything, then he's fucked, essentially. Because he has no record deal and has nothing, but it took him reaching that point where like, this is all I got. This is 100% me. Here it is, and then he's Bruce Springsteen.
And you think, yeah. So when he did that, he had a choice, right? Like he could have said, "This is my only shot. I have to please them," and made something that was very catering to what he thought people would want.
Yeah.
But instead, he went genuine and he said, if this is my last shot, I'm going to put it all out
Might as well be your last shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it worked.
Right.
But I will say, I never really gave him a chance. Never listened to him a lot.
The good thing about it
You're
is...
a big fan or not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
There's a big catalog for a little something for a lot of people. Like, I think you generally have to like his voice because he does have that raspy voice that I know some people like that are like, yeah, I don't mind the music, but I hate his voice, and you can't change how you feel about it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, his first album is like his record label wanted him to be like, they were trying to market him as like the next Bob Dylan. Greetings from Asbury Park was his first album, so it's like, it was going to be like a folky kind of album. His second album is like a Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes kind of vibe where there's a lot more horns on it. His band is on it. And then Born to Run is like a little bit of both, and it's genuinely him.
Yeah.
And Nebraska is a silent guitar album of someone who's like, he was like depressed at the time, and people that understand what it's like to feel that way might really resonate with that album. It's about someone he feels like condemned in the whole, like the movie they just made is about him making that album.
Okay.
They made a movie, and it's about him making that album and how like depressed he was and how it.
Is it a documentary or?
It was a movie. Like the guy from
Okay.
Shameless is in it. Jeremy Allen White plays Bruce Springsteen.
I didn't even know that.
It was great.
I know they made a Bob Dylan one.
They did. I saw that too. That was a good one.
It was good.
It was good. And I'm not a big. I like Bob Dylan. I respect him. I just wasn't a huge Bob Dylan fan, but it made me get into him enough to be like, yeah, he was great for the time. And I know some people love him now. I mean, I might see him now because he's playing with Willie Nelson, and I might go just to be like, yeah, I saw Willie Nelson. He's 93 years old. I mean,
Wow.
come on, he's still playing. I got to see him.
Wow.
Like what a legend. That's what I want to be. I want to be
Is
93.
he still like
playing.
getting around okay?
Oh yeah, he's doing fine. I mean,
Wow.
he's old. He's up there, but he's old. His guitar is like a bullet hole in it or something. It's pretty
He's
cool.
been smoking weed
Smokey's.
for
It's
years
what's
and
keeping him. It
years.
must be what's keeping him alive, man.
Yeah.
That man's still singing. 93, still playing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's great. That's really awesome.
Do you remember? Well, you're younger, but the Dukes of Hazzard remake,
What
the
they
movie.
do? Okay.
They remade the Dukes of Hazzard in the early 2000s, and it's got like um the dude from Jackass.
Oh, Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
and this other guy that was a big actor back then, and um, but he's like the uncle, the old uncle in it.
Yeah.
Is um,
Willie.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he was ancient then,
Yeah.
and I was a
right.
little kid, so he's got to be so old.
Yeah, he always looked old. Like, have you ever seen like the We Are the World music video from like 1985? He's like going gray then,
Yeah.
and that was 40 years ago. And
Yeah.
my man is still touring. Is it? They're going on a tour. He's touring with like I think Sheryl Crow. It's him, Sheryl Crow, and Bob Dylan.
How?
I don't know how he's touring. Like touring's grueling on like a young person.
Yeah.
Maybe he's smoking. Maybe he's not even like there for all of it. I don't know.
I don't
I love
know.
it how he's like the only guy to outsmoke Snoop Dogg.
You think
Legend.
so?
That's what Snoop Dogg said.
Wow.
I heard on an interview. He's like, I smoked with Willie Nelson one time. I couldn't
Wow.
keep up, and that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Like Willie Nelson, like yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, he's like that's
But
when you really love it.
You would think though, like, is there some health benefit to it? Because
I think there probably is for some people.
if you are smoking like a chimney till you're 93 years old and you're still on tour, like, who knows what his diet's like and everything, but
yeah.
like, how the fuck is that possible?
Right? Like
With everything they taught us about smoking, like,
Right,
it's
Johnny Cash died at 71.
yeah,
And he was a rough-looking 71.
yeah,
And Willie Nelson is 22 years older than he was when he died, and he's somehow is still performing. Like he's still
Yeah.
good enough for me to be like, I want to go see him. Like there's people that like by the time they're 75, I'm like, all right, man, I respect that you love the art, but I'm never gonna go see you play because you sound like shit.
Yeah.
But Willie Nelson sounds good, and he's 93. But I'm also like, I gotta see him because he's 93,
right.
and like who knows if he's ever gonna, any day, literally any day, he's on borrowed time for the last like 12
Wait,
years.
so do you have like a show you're gonna go
I'm this close to buying the tickets. I didn't buy them.
Where?
yet.
When is it?
It's
Where
like
is
I
it?
think they might be coming down to like that theater in Camden or something. I have to see. It's in April. It's in a few months.
The pavilion.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were there a couple months ago. Same
Okay.
thing. It wasn't the tour, but I think it was just a show they were doing, and I should have went.
I was just there a few months ago. Creed.
Oh really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
You're not a Creed fan?
Not really, but I know the band.
Okay. Well, the thing with them is, because I listened to them growing up, and the band broke up. The singer went through hell, like internally, like
Yeah.
drug use and stuff, and years went by. They reunited once in 2009, and then after that, nothing again.
Really?
Till I think last year or the year before.
shit.
So all these years went by. I never thought I was ever gonna see Creed live, and it was funny because my best friend, him and his wife got tickets, and she ended up having to have surgery, and she was going to be recovering at the time, so she
Right.
couldn't go. And he called me up. He's like, "You want to see Creed?" I was
Nice.
like, "Fuck yeah, I want
There
to see
you go.
Creed."
That's great of him to give you that, man.
So yeah, we went, and it was like, it was surreal because there's a million bands that I love, and would put on a great show, but to see them and have one chance, because who knows? What if they break up again tomorrow?
Right.
Like,
Better off.
I had one chance to see him, and I took it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was amazing. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up or plug?
Sure, thank
Because
you.
you said you have a heart out at
Yeah, I have a song coming out on January 22nd.
Okay.
It's called January 25th. Sorry, got it mixed up with my show at Dingbats on January 22nd. We'll plug that first, as I did earlier. Show at Dingbats, January 22nd. It's in Clifton, New Jersey. It's a rock night with Asbury Park bands, sports on the radio. Beach Days is from Point Pleasant, not Asbury Park, but they're on the bill, and Forever King Clark. So come out. It wasn't going to be an Asbury rock night, but it turned into that because a couple of the bands from North Jersey dropped out. But I still had the hold for the night, so we said we're going to add on a couple more bands. So it's going to be a good night. That's going to be a good night. And then at February 7th, we're playing The Sanctuary with a band called Start From Something and Beach Days. And earlier that day, I'm playing solo at the Asbury Park Brewery from 2 to 3 p.m. So come by there. That's gonna be a bit of a drive coming from the brewery to Butler, but it's gonna be all right. I just love taking the Parkway at 5 o'clock around there, don't we all?
Yeah.
But we'll get through it, Gene. We'll get through it for the gig, for the shows. It doesn't even faze me though. I'll always do it.
When I used to do that and like play 2 places in one day, and you know it's a busy day, but there's a point during that time where you think about it and you're like, this is what I want to be doing.
100%.
Like, this is so cool
yes,
that I'm going 2 places.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I feel like I'm in it now, where whatever happens, this will always be a time. Like I'm writing a lot. I'm coming into my sound finally. And I said to my friend, we rehearsed, and it's really funny. I had my keyboardist. His name is Sam, and he plays with me at the Pony and all that. He plays with me live, and him and his family went on vacation when I had a show booked at the Pony. So I had a friend of mine that also played the keys, and I called him up. I said, I need you to play.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, I can play. Send me the stuff. I sent him the stuff, and we were gonna rehearse at this rehearsal studio in Howell. And then my keyboardist's mom said, like, you guys can just rehearse here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, great. And while they're on vacation. So we went there, and then we did we went out in the morning, and we went there, rehearsed, and we rehearsed for like 6 hours in total that day. And then we got pizza after. And I'm not like rich, okay? But, I'm like in the thick, you have to buy stuff, I'm at the part where I'm investing a lot. But I was like, I said to him, I was like, this is exactly where I want to be right now, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it feels so freeing. I'm no longer trying to please people. I'm not trying to please a figure. I'm not trying to please, like with my art. I'm just doing it, and I'm finally reached that point. It feels so fucking freeing.
Yeah.
No matter how much money I have.
Right.
In this case, right now, not a lot. But it doesn't matter because I'm just like, I'm finally, you feel like it just feels good.
Yeah.
Like it feels like I can breathe,
Yeah.
And that's a great feeling.
You appreciate the journey.
100%. That's what it's about, right? It's about the journey. And, it's the saying, overnight success takes 10 years. So it's about the journey. It really is about the journey.
I always feel like, because I watch so many of you guys, like, coming up and doing this for the first time and playing shows, and the thing with me, and I'm starting to sound like an old guy. I turned 33 this month.
You did already?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday! I'm sorry I didn't say anything. Happy belated.
No, you're
birthday,
good,
man. I got you. I wished you. Last year I got you. I knew it was coming up, but
who the fuck knows? Unless you're on Facebook,
It's true. I'm not on Facebook, bro.
So, but thank you. But the thing about me is I kind of have like two runs, because when I first started playing out, I was a drummer my whole life. So I, you know, I had, I had garage bands and I jammed at home with my teacher and my dad, but when I really started going after it, and I had one metal band in the basement, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
And then the band after that, we started playing shows, and it was a punk band, and that was my first experience going on stage and playing in front of crowds and that feeling. And then we played all over Jersey, and then we went on this tour, and I think I told you a lot about that last time, but
Yeah, right.
but to have that experience and like go through all that and like the energy and the crowds and moving and driving to the venues and going all over,
Yeah.
packing up the equipment,
Being tired as fuck, driving home.
yeah, and you're just like, man, I fucking love this.
Yeah, it's like,
And then
yeah,
when
100%.
when all this was over, and then I did it again, but now it's just me, and I started playing all of these open mics.
Right.
And that's one of the things that like with the diss track and everything is I'm like I was at that Asbury open mic, like I'm one of the oldest people there.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
me and Larry and like Andy that were like, I don't know if I'm leaving anybody out, but like the OGs from like when it
7 years
then,
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so but to do it twice, and I went on a whole run playing everywhere I could, just me and my acoustic, and then that became this, and
It's great. Yeah.
now I have a couple EPs and an album on Spotify, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's only the beginning,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's been a hell of a time to do it twice.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Really, yeah.
I'm really happy for like when I see you
Well, thank you.
doing that. I see the pictures of you at the Pony and stuff, and everyone else, even the ones that aren't like close friends but just acquaintances in the scene, like it's so cool to see everybody.
Yeah, it is.
doing
It's funny. Like I work with this guy, and I don't really, whatever. But he was like, "Where are you
Well,
playing?" I'm like, "We're playing at in Clifton." He's like, "Why the hell are you going out to Clifton?" I'm like, first off,
Why not?
look around you. There's nothing around here. Second,
Yeah.
you have no idea how fun it is to drive up to Clifton and
Yeah.
hang with the band and play and hang with the other bands and then drive back. I mean,
Right.
it's simple in the grand scheme of things, but when it's something that's all you want to do, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just that's fun. I don't care if I always, if it's ever on like a Saturday, I have work the next day at 8. That does suck getting up, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
100% it's worth it. I wouldn't change a thing. I would take less sleep over sitting at home that night, not playing, not driving, performing, because it's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And I agree. I know the song coming out is January 25th. It's coming out midnight, January 25th. It's called Don't Play, Can't Eat. It's coming out on all platforms. Maybe it's a declaration song. I don't know. That's for you to decide.
A declaration
That.
song.
Maybe it is.
Like
Maybe.
declaring.
Where I stand,
Okay.
I think.
Where you stand. I don't want to pry.
You can pry
maybe
all
maybe
you
want.
want.
It to be a surprise, but is
No,
it
no, it's-
like your stance as an artist? Is it a political stance?
Nah,
Is
stance
it-
as an artist.
Okay.
Stance as an artist. Stance on how I feel about, people and the that are involved locally, non-locally. I don't really give a shit. You know,
Oh,
it's
is
my.
this like
It's not like diss track. It's not like diss
like diss
track.
track?
Because it's just how it's just me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't really explain it, but it's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't. You know, I'm not a hater on anyone.
Yeah.
But, you know, fuck it. Here it is. I'm at that point. Here's who I am.
Right.
This is my first time I'm done trying to please anyone. Like, just fuck it.
That is awesome.
Here's the song. I don't give a shit. You
That
know,
is
I just
awesome.
can't do it anymore. You know, it killed like my first album. There's a few songs that are truly me, but like some of them, like I was also younger, you know, which is a thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's never like being like, this is who I am. It's always like begging. Every song, maybe I don't know if you've ever listened. Like, it's just, some of the songs feel like, you know, asking for like that a person or for someone or for a group of people to accept me. But I'm just not like that anymore. I don't care anymore. And I think, you know,
Yeah.
maybe people sense that when they listen to it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And it's really, that's the point. It doesn't matter.
That's like what I was
yeah.
saying about my old music is, and I love my old songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually had a weird battle with myself lately because, you know, we were talking about my battle with depression and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And since I've been feeling better, I'm afraid to play I have a couple songs that are very sad
Right.
and they're very good. They're great songs.
Yeah.
But they're not recorded and I want to put them out there, but I'm afraid to start playing them all the time
Right.
again because I'll play them live.
Yeah.
But,
like, just sit and record them, you mean? Or
Yeah, and then have to go through, and I don't want to put myself back in that state of mind,
I feel that.
but
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I have to put them out there.
You don't want to. Yeah, you want to get them out there. That's that. I respect that, man.
Yeah.
That's great. It's, you know, it's Yeah, it can be tricky, especially like trying to get yourself into a headspace to write something. Because if you have like a way you want to,
Yeah.
even like recording, you know, you gotta like sometimes I'll take a minute and just try to really get into a headspace to really make it sound good. And if it you know and if it's a shitty vocal take, I mean whatever. But at least it's
Yeah,
it's the vibe I'm going for. And the more I figure it out, you know.
Right.
But it's like I think that's, and I agree. It's a little hard going back to where
Yeah.
you know where you have now you feel totally different and you're much more in a healthier spot. But I agree, you don't want to die with the songs in you either. It's a sacrifice we have to make, right?
yeah. I think it's kind of funny how it ended after all we talked about, and there was so much of like we talked about Eminem and we talked about the stuff that I did and we talked about being genuine,
Yeah.
and I had no idea that it was gonna end up that when you plugged your stuff you're gonna be like, yeah, this is my declaration song, this is where I stand, this is exactly what I think. I was like, whoa, it's like a prophetic moment. I didn't see that coming. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's interesting.
see where it takes us, right?
Yeah,
And then I have working on more stuff, and we'll have to do that and record more stuff. But
yeah.
this song is done. It's ready to go. And January 25th.
Okay,
That's the date, man.
okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Man, I like I wanna go play somewhere now. Like it's got me all but luckily I got a couple more of these. Like I said, I got a couple more coming on. I got my brother.
That's great.
I got and anytime you want to come on,
Thanks so much, man. I had a pleasure coming on. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I've been dying to do one of these with you. It's always great talking to you.
and we could,
And
if you ever want to bring, because you got a band.
I got
so
a guy, my
if you wanna
keyboardist.
bring-
My
Yeah,
keyboardist
yeah.
is one of my best friends.
Yeah,
He'd be great.
yeah,
My drummer, you guys, you're a drummer. You guys would talk.
yeah,
It's always fun, man.
yeah.
But thank you.
All right, man. Well, you want to wrap it up there? Or you got anything else?
No, I'm good. January 25th.
January 25th.
Date it all changes.
Keep it in mind, everybody. Thank you for watching.